Hi, I'm Randy with Nature First and Randy's Primal Rat Control Systems. Let's talk about rat behaviors for a minute and some of the rat facts that you might not know that really determine how effective either baiting or contraceptive or just control measures can be. We now know, for example, that rat behavior changes as populations increase. There comes a certain point in a given ecosystem where rats turn from what has been termed pastoral or go along, get along, to despotic, according to Blake in 1944, I think it was. They started doing the behaviors of crowding and found out that everything changes in the colony. The food preferences change. One rat emerges. He's usually the heaviest rat because he's the one that fights and controls everybody. He gets the lion's share of the food. But he controls mating, he controls water, he controls food, he controls who sleeps where, who does what. And literally he runs their lives and he enforces it viciously. He's a despot, a despotic animal. That changes things in a neighborhood when you're trying to control rats, because suddenly the old measures might not work so well, because that rat, that king rat, controls who goes to a bait box or who gets water or who gets food. And you need to know that for daytime animal behavior and for literally setting up ways to control the populations. A couple more things. We've learned that rats have an extraordinary sense of hearing in the upper ranges, far above where we are. Their ears are shaped like bats for a good reason, because they're commenting and talking in that ultrasonic range. We also know now that they have an extraordinary sense of smell. They can smell death or poisons in other rats' droppings. Much like a dog can smell cancers in humans, rats can smell poisons and poisoning in other rats. They can literally tell from other rats' droppings what they were eating, how healthy they are, what their sex is, what their age is, and what might be making them sick. And that despotic rat, that boss rat, he doesn't eat anything first. He always lets the juniors eat first. He may be 2 weeks before he will actually touch something new in his environment. He's that paranoid. But he will literally allow or force the junior rats to eat and then start monitoring their behavior, their health. Another thing, rats hate to go into a dead-end area. They, like any burrowing animal, they don't want to be trapped at the end of a tunnel. Rats have developed over the centuries a sensory system for moving air and for subsonic noises. It's called vibrissa. It's an extension of their whiskers, but every so many hairs on their body, all the way around their body, is an extra long one with extra nerve endings. They can literally go to the edge of an opening or something and tell if it's a dead end because there's air movement going through it or not. They hate dead ends, and they hate dead ends in bait boxes. They hate dead ends in many types of traps. You can't fool the big rat that way. He knows that's a dead end, even if there's supposedly some food down there. So we've got rats that are communicating. They're hearing in ranges we can't tell. We know that they are able to sense things that we didn't even know about 7, 8, 10 years ago. And those things have not been taken into account in modern rat management, at least until now.